But today we have a special guest with us. We have Dani Hopkins. Dani is a five-star elite coach, had an amazing year last year, and is doing some major things this year. So, Dani, first, before we kind of start grilling you with questions, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started with Beachbody, and where you're at today?
Yes, definitely. So my story is a little bit different. I actually got started with Beachbody because I was a college athlete back in the day. And if any of you were college athletes, you know, you kind of become disenchanted with fitness after being owned by a college for so long. And so after I graduated, I kept eating like a college athlete, but I was not working out, and I wasn't planning on working out. I hated working out, all of that fun stuff. But I put on the pounds. I put on about 60 pounds. And me and my boyfriend at the time, we decided for New Year's, January 1st, 5 years ago, we were going to go on a run, and I couldn't even make it a quarter of a mile. And I was like, okay, I need to do something about this. So we went home, and I grabbed ice cream and sat on the couch and like went to the TV Guide channel to see what was on Bravo, reality TV, you know, and at the top of the TV Guide channel, there was an infomercial playing for T25. And I was like, well, you know what? I could probably do 25 minutes a day. And so I called the number, first and only infomercial I've ever called. And they were like, do you want Shakeology as well? And I was like, no, I don't want just stupid shake. And they were like, well, do you want like a free 7-day sample? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, if you're going to give me free stuff, I'll take it. So I got my T25 and my 7-day sample of Shakeology in the mail. Another history, I had been in and out of hospitals doing testing for digestive issues for the 5 years prior to this, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And so I lived in pain. I was on 4 medications. Now, fast forward, I got my challenge pack. I started drinking Shakeology and doing T25. I lost 8 pounds the first week, and then my digestive issues were gone. Shakeology is not intended to cure or prevent any disease, but for me, whatever the heck was wrong with me, it helped me. And from that moment on, I was like, okay, how do I get, you know, a discount on this shake? I had heard something like that. And so I emailed my coach, because I was a customer lead. So I just went into my like account and emailed my coach, and she didn't reply. I'm like, looking back, I'm like, I was the dream lead, right? And she didn't reply. And so I had seen this other girl that I didn't really know too well from the town I was living in post about Shakeology before. So then I messaged her and I was like, hey, do you know how I could sign up as a coach to get the discount on Shakeology? And she's like, yeah, let me sign you up. And so she signed me up, and I had no intention of ever doing anything with this business. I just wanted it for the discount. Fast forward 5 years, next month will be my 5-year anniversary. And I've never missed Success Club, which is funny in hindsight because I didn't join to build a business. I had no idea what Success Club was until a year into the business. I just was so excited and so passionate about what I was doing. And I figured out how to sign people up that I was hitting Success Club every month without even knowing it. So that's kind of my story. My first year, I didn't do much other than help people. Then I went to a Super Saturday and heard Amy Silverman speak. And I was like, okay, you know, if this girl can do it, I can do it. Like I was like blown away that there was an opportunity. And so from that point on, I started growing my business and building. I got to Diamond. I got to Emerald immediately, Diamond in like 60 days. And then I was 1-star Diamond in like 3 months. And I sat at Diamond and 1-star for 3 years until this last year, when we finally were able to rank advanced to 5-star and elite status. So that's kind of my backstory. Oh, and this last year with going elite, I also had a baby and had a very traumatic childbirth and almost died in childbirth and wasn't able to really like walk for 2 months. And again, never missed Success Club, kept going, all that fun stuff. So that's kind of my backstory. Oh, I guess I should share, I lost 40 pounds with my first program, and I kept that off for the 4 years, and then I got pregnant and I gained 60 pounds. So we are in the process of getting that pregnancy weight off, and it is coming off fast with T20 or Transform 20. So that's exciting.
I love it. What a powerful story. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, guys, I know we don't have Dani for very long today either, about a half hour, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to let you guys begin. Go ahead.
I'll go. So having been stuck at 1 star for a really long time, what was the thing that, got you to go to 5 star? Like what can you pinpoint it? Any one particular thing?
Yes, I 100% can pinpoint that. And something else about my story that I want you guys to know is that girl that I signed up with, she is still signed up as a coach, but she doesn't do anything with the business. She is MIA. I haven't heard from her in 4 or 5 years. So, and I'm on her weak leg. So everything in my business, I have learned myself, and I'm self-taught, and I've used all the resources. And so I just like people to know that as well, that I've had no upline support until this last year. Amy Silverman is like my upline. And finally I'm on her radar now. So, I'm able to get some of her time. Just wanted to throw that out there as well. But so what happened, you guys, that really changed the game for me was that I realized that, maybe part of it being that I didn't have an upline to teach me everything, I was really trying to imitate what I saw other successful coaches do, which is a great thing, don't get me wrong, but I was doing it to the point of feeling like I had to be like them. So for example, Amy Silverman, I would I need to be more free-minded. I need to have tattoos. I need to, I was just trying to be somebody I wasn't. So in those 3 years of me, trying to grow my business, I attracted a ton of people who were not my people. And so we would get on team calls, and I have a really weird sense of humor, and I think I'm really funny. And so I'll say something really crazy, and no one on my team call would laugh. And they would just kind of stare at me. And I'm like, oh my God, these are not my people, and it was like pulling teeth. At events, I would just be like, I do not want to hang out with these people. They're just not my people. And so when you have people on your team who aren't your people because you attracted them because you were being someone you weren't, trying to make other people happy or trying to just find your way, it's hard to help support them in their business and help drive them to move forward in their business. So I really think that that's why I was stuck. So in this last year, I really was like, okay, Dani, you need to figure it out. And so I really was like, I'm going to be me, the crazy, weird me that I am. When I make posts, I don't post for my followers. I post for my best friend or my dad or my mom, whoever that person is in your life that you would just talk to uncensored. That's who you're talking to when you post. So, for some people, it helps for them to get out their notepad and do voice to text on their phone. But if you go read my posts after hearing me talk today, you're like, oh my God, I can literally hear Dani saying these words. So for the prior 3 years, it was very staged, whatever, very staged. And even to the point where I was copying other top coaches' posts, not word for word, but now I've been doing it so long and I've come into my own that I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And then I can regurgitate it in my own voice, in my own words. And if I'm not attracted to something that I see done, then I don't do it because it's not authentic to me and it's not real to me. So that was the big shift, is just starting to be me. And then the girls on my team now, on our team calls, we have so much fun. We have dance parties. They laugh at my stupid jokes. I mean, they're just my people now. And when you have people who are like you and you guys are all working together, it really was a game changer.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are you successful at creating connections with your leads that you get from the company?
No.
I've always wanted to ask coaches who are successful that question because I reach out to them, but nothing.
Yeah, same here. It's very odd. I mean, maybe I've heard back from a handful of leads I've gotten over the years. So I wouldn't say that I'm very skilled at that. I mean, and I don't know if my emails just go into their spam or what, because I even had a lead emailing me the other day and I was emailing him and then he kept emailing me the same question. And I'm like, oh, did you not get my other email? And he literally probably thinks I'm not emailing him. So I don't understand.
Okay.
But
Thank you. I started text messaging mine last week because their numbers are in there. So I just was like, okay, I'm going to send a text message out. And I was a little more successful with that. And I had some conversations with like 2 out of the 6 that I sent, but it still ends up going into that like space that, you start getting ghosted after that. So
yeah, the phone number is probably the way to do it.
okay. Thank you.
I have a question. What is your recruiting strategy? What are you doing for your recruiting, and how's that working? Coaches and challengers.
Yeah, definitely. So this all comes back to the authenticity and vulnerability that I talked about. So I would say that I am skilled, I don't know, at attraction marketing in the sense that people feel safe and ready to talk to me and to commit. And so my strategy, and I actually do like a whole hour-long speech on this, but essentially, you guys, when you're on your social media, you need to be sharing connective tissue like 110% all day long, along with your fitness and health stuff. So you got to have the daily life, the connective tissue, and the fitness and health stuff so people know what you're doing. Along with that, you got to show up every single day. So for example, in the morning, if you have like crazy bedhead, like go on there and show off your crazy bedhead. If you have a kid and they do something crazy, post that. If anything in your day, if you go, oh my God, that would happen to me. Or if you think like, I have the craziest luck. Or if you're like, that crap is weird that happened to me. You share that stuff because the weird stuff that happens to us, people connect with that. So my inbox is always full on my Instagram with people being like, oh my God, me too. Oh my God, me too. Oh my God, me too. And so that turns into easy forming and easy inviting, right? Because we have that connective tissue. We're like, whoa, like your daughter like craps her pants up her back all day, every day too, like whatever it may be. And so I think that sharing that connective tissue makes people like know you and trust you and love you. And I always use the example of like Grey's Anatomy. Like we all know Meredith Grey. We know what she's about. We laugh with her. We cry with her. You can be that Meredith Grey to somebody. So that they are either like connecting with you and reaching out and being like, oh my God, me too. Or when you do a hard invite and you do a call to action, they trust you and they're like, okay, I'm ready to get going with this girl because I know who she is. I know what she's about. And you also want to turn that camera on and talk to it so that they can hear your voice, hear your passion, and hear your love. Along with that, those daily life posts and that connective tissue that you're sharing, which can be the crazy stuff, but it's also the very normal stuff. Like how you do your bun, if you use a certain hairbrush, like literally just the boring, mundane stuff. I have my coaches do an exercise where I'm like, take a notepad with you all day long and write down every single thing that you do. Because then when you're like, I don't know what to share about my daily life, you have a list of like hundreds of items that you do every single day in your life that people can connect with you on. So along with that, you need to be showing up every day with a workout clip or two. You need to be showing up every day with a product. Obviously you don't want like the name of Shakeology or Energize, whatever I call it, Energize My Go-Go Juice. You need to be showing up every day with that. And then you need to be sharing testimonies of your own and of your challengers and of the coaches on your team. Okay. Because again, when you have that call to action, they're going to be like, not only do I know her and trust her and think she's hilarious, but I know she's not going to let me down because she shows up every day. No one wants a coach who just shows up twice a week. No one wants a coach who they don't actually know outside of like white noise Beachbody coach who just pops on their thing to share a fitness post. They need it all. It needs to be well-rounded. So back to the question, what's my recruitment strategy for challengers and coaching? Show up every day for challenging invites. I invite everybody who pops in my inbox because like I said, I'm always putting stuff on my and this is all Instagram, you guys. Facebook was my main success my first few years. It seems like as of last year, it's really shifted all the way over to Instagram, especially with the Instagram stories. there's Facebook stories too, but like, does anyone even like watch those? Like, I don't know. I haven't had awesome success with the Facebook at all. So then all the people who are messaging me get invited. I do call to actions. Gosh, probably like 3 times a week. I don't like to do it every single day because I like people to watch a few clips of my workouts, see me drinking my stuff, and then be like, what is she doing? But of course they're not going to like ask me what I'm doing. So then like day 3, day 4, I'm like, oh, do you want to join me? Like, here's a poll. And I make it super simple. Yes on the poll, and like maybe I need more info on the poll. And then everybody who voted on the poll gets a message. Hey, what's your email? Let's chat. And then I go right into, I have scripts that I made that are super simple, where I get their goals, step 1, step 2. I explain to them how I think the challenge could help them with their goals. I explain what the challenge is. I ask them if that sounds like a good fit for them. Step 3, I say, great, I'm glad that sounds good. I explain what Shakeology is and the value of Shakeology. And then I explain their challenge pack options with graphics. And then I have them reply with email, kind of like the Danielle and the Tony National Wake Up Call, like email, do you want beach bars? Oh, and then I also say, do you want to join as a coach? Which I think that's from maybe Ashley Molstad that I recently got that from. So I'm enrolling discount coaches as well as normal coaches. So that's kind of my flow for attraction marketing, inviting. And then as far as coaching, I like to talk about coaching every day in my Instagram stories too, as well as I would say most of my static posts on Instagram are have something to do with coaching, because that is my passion in this business. I'm not like great at challenge groups. I don't love health and fitness, but I love business and I love this business opportunity. So that's like my favorite place to spend time. And so I like to run a coach sneak peek once a month currently for my entire downline. But with that being said, I have seen people doing like 1-day sneak peeks every other week. So that's something that I'm thinking about trying out here soon. And so for my coach sneak peeks, again, I just put up a call to action and I make it super simple for them to want to learn more information. And also if I have anybody in my feed who has messaged me or viewed my stories or anything, all those people get invites as well. So the other great thing is if you're being consistent with like inviting on your Instagram stories, is that you can see everybody who viewed it and then invite all those people, because it's like, oh, hey, I saw, like, you saw my story, does that, like, could you use an extra $100, $200 a month? I would love to show you how I run my business and how, we can earn, and, do you want to learn more? And then something else that maybe is a little bit different about me is I give them the option if they want to have a call, go to email, or go on my coach sneak peek. Yeah. I think there's a question in here. Do I want to share my scripts with you? Is that the question? Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, guys, what other questions do you have?
What was your main method for growing your Instagram? Just because I was just checking it out and that you're at 15,000. So that's something I'm struggling with right now. So I'd love to hear.
Yeah, you know what, Sarah, that's a really great question. And it's kind of hilarious because I was pregnant last year and I had a terrible pregnancy. I was definitely in survival mode, and my Instagram did not grow last year. So I grew my Instagram back in the day, which sounds so funny to say, before Instagram stories. And so I'm kind of relearning right now. I've been stuck at 15,000 for like a year. So I'm like, how do people grow their Instagrams, now? So I do have some tips that I've recently learned that I'll share with you guys. But I grew my Instagram by posting 3 to 5 times a day on my main feed. And it's like, I don't think people realize how easy they have it now with Instagram stories, because can you imagine coming up with 3 to 5, I don't know how long you guys have been coaches, but 3 to 5 permanent posts a day on your Instagram? That's what I used to do. And then 30 hashtags every single time. So I'm in the process of relearning it. I don't know if hashtags are still in. It seems like all the hashtags that I research are other MLM people. So I don't know that like a ton of people are using hashtags anymore. But I think that the biggest thing is making connections, genuine connections now on Instagram. So instead of spending so say you set aside like 30 minutes a day for inviting on Instagram. What I've been telling my coaches is instead of using that whole 30 minutes to go like invite random people that you haven't connected with, use half of that time to search locations that you love or locations around you. Go to brands that you love. And I just learned this at National or New Leader Conference. Go to brands that you love. So say you love like Hum Kombucha and see who's following them, and then see if there's anybody that you can connect with that way. And then also your friends, if you have like someone or a follower, if you have someone who follows you, who you love, and you're like, that's my girl, those are my people, go look at her friends list and start connecting with those people. And I never know where I learn things, but there's the 3-2-1. So you like 3 photos, comment on 2 photos, and then follow them. And that should result in a follow back. And so I would say that the best way that I'm relearning to build my Instagram is through making those genuine connections and spending some time, putting in the groundwork that way. How do you help your new coaches run? So something that it's really funny. So I start all of my new coaches the same way, right? And my last like group of new coaches like have been kind of like nothing. And so I think it's really easy for us to be like, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? Well, I just had a new coach sign up. And in her first 30 days, she has hit Success Club in January and February. She's at Success Club 16. She's recruited 8 coaches. She has a coach halfway to Emerald. She's going to be my fastest diamond. And I taught her the same thing I teach everybody else. And so I really think that it's a numbers game. And I think that they say 1 in 10 will do something with the business and 1 in 20 will actually maybe rank advance. And so you just need to find more people. But essentially, don't overcomplicate things for your new coaches. Help 3 people, get to Emerald in 24 hours, and then get to Diamond in your first 30 days. I keep it super simple. I give them those goals because if we say, okay, we're going to sit down and we're going to get to Emerald, and we're putting all this like work and like pressure and making Emerald sound like this crazy thing instead of like, oh, just get to Emerald and then get to Diamond. It's cool. It's easy. Then that's what they'll expect it to be. But if you like overcomplicate it and make it really crazy sounding, then they're going to be like, oh man, I don't know if I can get to Diamond. So I like to tell my new coaches, Emerald right away, Diamond 30 days, 2-star is really where the doors are open to your business. That's really where you can start making money. And so I just throw that out there so that there's no ending point. And so a lot of these are 1-stars. And so I don't know how many of you have had diamonds get to Diamond and then drop out or like lose their rank. And you're like, what in the world? I think that's because we put so much pressure on get to Diamond, get to Diamond, get to Diamond, instead of let's get to 2-star. That's where you can start making some more money, company bonuses, open your second business center, all that jazz. So, but yeah, I don't do anything crazy. I just tell them to hit Success Club, get to Emerald, and get to Diamond in 30 days and chit chat with them about social media. Oh, do you have incentives for your coaches to rank advanced to Diamond or hit Success Club? I'm the worst person in the world with mail. I'm sure that I've promised my coaches, like, everyone's going to get this if they hit Success Club, and they probably never got it. Gifting is not my love language. If your love language is gifting, I think you should 110% do that. I do have diamond gifts. I get my coaches a necklace or a mala if they're into the malas. And then my star diamonds, I get them shoes, a pair of Nikes. So I do have those incentives, but it's not like get to Diamond and you'll get a necklace. It's like I just send that to them as a gift for getting to Diamond. The gift is the growth in their business. But really, gifts are not my love language. But maybe your coaches are, especially if your love language is gifting. You probably have attracted people who love gifting.
Love it. Okay, so you also you had 4 new diamonds last year. So we'd kind of know your strategy coming in, like get to Diamond, really simple. Any other type of push you did between Emerald and Diamond?
Team Cup.
Love this answer. Okay, what did you do for Team Cup?
Yeah, so last year my Team Cup team my team cup team, everybody was my personally sponsored coach. And I said, okay, you guys are all getting to diamond. And I think when you have like a group of people running together, that it like makes it so much better. And so we just had our tight knit chat group. And I actually talked about this a little bit. I did the team cup training in the champions page. And so I touched on this at the end of the call, if you want to go hear a little bit more, but they all ran for diamond together. And I think that when you have people like coming in and saying, just sent out an enrollment, talking to 5 people about coaching right now, just sent out 20 invites, that the other people in the team are like, okay, let's go. And again, that numbers game, you guys, I think that something else we don't realize is that you could sign up somebody like today that gets to Emerald tomorrow. Like it can happen really fast, but if you're not finding those people and you're not signing anybody up, then the probability kind of goes down on that. But I mean, 110%, it was everybody going for diamond together during Team Cup. And we're doing that again this year, so I'm excited to see what happens. Teamwork.
So cool.
Alone, I think that when you feel alone and like you're going for something alone, that it's a little bit harder maybe.
I think it's easier to not show up. It's easier to not show up for yourself, right? But you'll show up for other people. And I think
exactly,
that's what it is. So, okay, guys, we have enough time for about one more question. Anything else? Nothing. You guys are quiet today.
I have something.
Go ahead.
So you use Team Cup. Do you do anything like after Team Cup to get your diamonds going?
Yeah. So another thing along with finding my people is that I initiated something called a leadership chat group. And so you have to hit Success Club and recruit 2 coaches a month in order to be in that chat group. And so, I mean, in that group, we like share ideas, we bounce ideas off of each other. We say, oh my God, this worked really well for me. And like, really it's just your chance to have like one-on-one messaging all the time with me and the other leaders on the team. So, and again, keeping that close knit, like people working together thing, I think is huge. And it's funny because when I had the baby and had the trauma, I wasn't really like showing up in that chat group or anything because I was in survival mode, just hitting Success Club 10 behind the scenes. And it's funny because a lot of the girls that were in that chat group like stopped, like they weren't like using the chat group, anything else like that. And so I think that that's another thing that we all need to remember is that the speed of the leader is the speed of the pack, as much as we don't want to believe it, and that your coaches will do half of what you do. So that's like literally always the case. Like right now I'm at Success Club 30 and my next highest coach is Success Club 16. And so it's just always so interesting that they do half of what you do. So if you're not showing up at all, they're probably going to peace out. And if you're only showing up a little bit, they're going to be showing up a quarter of that. So lead by example.
Was that open for your whole downline?
Yes. Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. Maybe I'll make this switch eventually, but I mean, right now my team's not like huge. So I pretty much include my whole downline and everything.
I love it. Awesome. Well, seriously, Dani, so many truth bombs, such great material. I learned so much. I have a page of notes. I'm sure you guys do as well. So we really appreciate you being here for us. We'll let you go, get back to your kilo baby. And everyone else, I will see you next week. Thank you
guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.